Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about different times that Meghan and Harry have helped the homeless. Let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you have not already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell. I want to say a thank you to all of those who have subscribed and those who have decided to become a member of the channel. I want to officially welcome my royal court, and I want to say hello to the friend circle. Thank you all for joining us. If you would like to become a member, feel free to hit that join button or use the link in the description box below to become a member. We have a lot of fun. It's access to early access and exclusive access to different content, more content, as well as many other perks. So I'm excited to see the memberships growing and for you to spend a lot more time with me. You also have a lot more input when it comes to the content that I create. So you can be in the in circle, the friend circle, or the royal court. It's up to you. Use the link below. So today, I'm excited to talk about Meghan and Harry's work with the houseless. I completely understand how houselessness and homelessness has been an issue worldwide. And I think it's important to focus on helping people versus penalizing people for life just coming at you fast. Sometimes shit happens. And that's why I think helping the houseless has been so near and dear to me, because so many people like to take a judgmental view or a judgmental approach to helping the houseless. And I've offered my resources and I've actually gotten pushback like, oh, they're just gonna spend it on alcohol. Oh, they're just gonna, it is not my business what people do with the resources that I provide for them. That's their business. I want people to remember that humans deserve dignity. They deserve respect and they deserve to be treated like humans. Just because someone has a 10-bedroom house or someone has an apartment or someone has a tent or a shanty, it doesn't matter. Everyone deserves to be treated in a dignified manner. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect. And if you decide to help someone, you don't have input over how they use your help. Would I prefer that they get a meal? Would I prefer that they do this or that? Sure, but also I don't know all their business. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know how they ended up in this situation. I don't know anything. All I know is right now I may have something that's expendable to me that could be vital for them. And as a person walking this planet, I consider it my duty to help those that I can when I can. Because there was a once upon a time, and there will probably continue to be times in my life where I will need a helping hand, whether that comes from a stranger, comes from family, comes from a friend, or a bobblehead on the internet. It doesn't matter. We all owe it to our community to contribute where we can and how we can. And I love talking about this subject because it's always been so important to me. And believe it or not, helping the houseless has somewhat been controversial, which is insane. Someone's in need. I have the resources to aid. Why not aid? But I know that sometimes people like to find opportunities to assume authority over others. And sometimes when they feel like they are in a financially superior place, that they feel like this is my opportunity to be the boss. This is my opportunity to act out the authority figure in my life who oppressed me. It's my turn. And I want to remind people, if you take that type of approach to charity or helping others, you're trash. It's one of those things that I feel, if you're going to talk about the way you've helped or what you've done to help or what you contribute to, there's a way to do it that is still maintaining the dignity of the subject. I talked about this in a video earlier today when I said, if you're going to take a photo, you must get consent from the subject. If you're going to share the photo, you must get consent from the subject. And I think that's why I've always been so averse to those charity photos where people are like handing someone in particular $1 or handing someone a meal. It's really gauche and it's rude, and you're saying way more about yourself than anyone else. People may even consent to those who are receiving the help, but let me just say this. How often would you want someone photographing you in your most dire state? And how often do these people feel like if I don't consent to the photo, I may not receive the resources? So I just want people to think about that. If you're going to document your charity or your giving or what have you, please feel free, but there's a way to do it. Film yourself or document it being at the charity or the organization, or volunteering, or on your way out or on your way back, or you don't have to actually put faces in the photos. If you want to share that, and I don't see anything wrong with sharing charity or sharing that you're participating or volunteering. I think that's great because it incentivizes other people to do it too. It can kind of encourage other people to do it, which is the goal. But you want to do it in a way that the subject at hand or the subject in the photo doesn't feel like they're being exploited. And so that's why I like doing videos like this, where I can share what's important to me without making someone else feel like their dignity is on the line to make me look good. I give to charity, I volunteer, but none of that is really documented. I kind of do what I do and then I let that speak for itself. But now that my platform is building, there will be times where I will want to share where I'm going or where I'm volunteering and encourage people in those areas to come on out and join me. But I'm not going to pick a subject and make that person the face of oppression. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that, the way that we do it is a way that maintains the dignity of everyone receiving the charity and volunteering for the charity. So I wanted to share that just because people taking photos of themselves giving to others is so cringy. And as someone who grew up in the church, I completely understand that charity is not something that you boast about. And that's kind of one of our little cardinal rules. So anyway, I said all that to say, I'm excited to talk about this because helping the houseless is something that is imperative in my life and something that's very important to me. And it always has been. And being that I support the Sussexes who tout service is universal, I'm excited to talk about some of the things that they've done that target areas that I am very focused on. So I'm going to start going down the list from 2017 up until last year, 2021, some of the things that they've done to help the houseless. Again, just a reminder, this is not everything they've done. These are just things that I've highlighted in different areas that they've done and contribute to helping houseless people, as well as help them acquire resources. In 2017, Prince Harry visited the Running Charity in North London. As part of an initiative to explore how sport can be used to help vulnerable and young people in communities, he ran with about 8 people who were receiving resources or help with houselessness from the charity for about 15 minutes to raise awareness. After that, he had a sit down with Alex Eagle, the charity's director, and Alex had these comments about the visit. The Prince observed that a lot of young people who use our charities have been let down in the early stages of life, and that their success is defined by how they then can pick themselves up. That's what the Running Charity is all about, believing in young people and communities. I find this to be pretty cool because this is kind of a different approach to helping in any capacity when it comes to a charity, is running. I also love the idea of that initiative. How can sport be used to raise awareness or provide help, resources, or some sort of uplifting for people in these situations? So I wanted to highlight this because I thought it was really unique and effective. In 2018, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex shined light on Social Bite Cafe, and that's helping the homeless because Social Bite Cafe actually focuses on feeding homeless people, but also employing homeless people. In addition to that, they get a lot of notoriety from other celebrities who visit the area as well. Prince Harry and Meghan visited on their first official trip to Scotland, and during that time, they brought massive attention to the restaurant, but also the owner's other restaurants as well. I really like Social Bite because this is something that is not talked about enough. You need an address to find a job, and it is so hard to fill out applications when you really don't have a way for them to contact you or confirm where you live. It's easy to forget that in order to get a job that people love throwing in houseless people's face, get a job. Okay, where am I supposed to list my address if I don't have a place to live? And it's required on applications. Also, for non-physical applications, you gotta have access to a computer and internet. And so many places do not let people who appear to be houseless use their facilities because they know there's no compensation going to be coming from it. They're not going to be able to buy product or, contribute to your service or what have you. Kind of buy something in certain areas to stay and use the internet that may be free there. Even some libraries will ask you to leave if you don't appear to have a home. And I think that's really messed up. Our free resources should be really accessible to the people who need free resources. So places like SocialBite that focus on employing houseless people are very helpful because they don't just help you in the state that you're in, they help you to recover from that state of being, elevate to having more financial freedom, which is great. That's not only helping you now, but it's helping you build from this point. I really think SocialBite has a great thing going here, and I would love to see more restaurants and cafes employ houseless people, as well as recently imprisoned people. That's a story for another day. A few other famous friends who've contributed to SocialBite or visited SocialBite: Will Smith, who we know is a friend of the channel, and by friend of the channel, I'm a fan of him. George Clooney and Leonardo DiCaprio. In 2018, Meghan cooked Middle Eastern food for the homeless and elderly at Hub Community Kitchen. Meghan's first solo endeavor was to support the cookbook together with the Hub Community Kitchen. And Hub Community Kitchen is comprised of women who were affected by the fire at Grenfell Tower. Now, if you look over here to my right, we've talked about it on the channel before, but I actually have the Together cookbook, and I'm gonna be starting cooking some of those recipes for some of my members only and members exclusive videos. So I'm excited to start that next month. But anyway, I have the book and I'm excited because the recipes look delicious, and I'm really happy to have been able to purchase this. Anyway, she created this book with the Hub Community Kitchen, but then she went back for a visit to see how the resources from the book were helping the community kitchen. So following up on the initiative. So you can tell that these things are close to not only Prince Harry's heart, but Meghan's as well, because she stays in contact, she stays committed, and she stays in communication. There have been things that have come out this year of her, marking the anniversary of the Grenfell Tower fire and reaching back out to the community kitchen and just kind of sharing her thoughts that they were in her thoughts. Anyway, Meghan returned to the kitchen and helped to prepare food and listen to the women's plans for the future of the kitchen. Now, I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall. Maybe no flies where cooking is happening, but I would have loved to have been able to sit in on that and hear how that discussion went. We know that Meghan is not only very charity minded, but she is an excellent organizer and she's an excellent executor. So she gets things done. It's one thing to talk about all these ideas and initiatives and all these things that would be great. It's another thing to turn those into action items and execute. And in the very brief time that Meghan was in the royal family, we saw her execute a number of things. As a matter of fact, they tried to shame her from working really hard. Considering you have someone in your palace called Duchess Doolittle, I would consider Meghan to be a godsend because she's actually showing that the royal family has some sort of relevance in the modern times. Y'all missed out. In 2019, Meghan and Harry supported the St. Felix Center in Toronto by naming the charity as one of the 12 worldwide to spotlight. And this was inspired by the 12 Days of Christmas. How cute is that? First of all, that is so unique and cute. They really put their heart and soul into their initiatives, right? I mean, it's just not your run-of-the-mill ribbon cutting, photo op. They actually worked their butts off. By spotlighting these organizations that were on this list of 12, the organizations received massive worldwide attention and engagement, but particularly for the St. Felix Center, they received donations, particularly for their Light the Way Christmas campaign. So again, turning that kind of social currency into actual currency and actual resources for the charities. Gotta love it. In addition, it was revealed that Meghan had a history with the organization. During her time working on Suits, she would bring food from the set to give to the homeless. And one Thanksgiving, she brought an entire dinner that fed over 100 people. In 2021, just last year, Harry and Meghan made donations to the charity Harvest Home, which focuses on pregnant women and their children who are houseless. Now, I wanted to point this one out because, first of all, it was recent, but then also, there are not enough organizations and charities, and I get it. There's only so much people can do. There's so many things that need our attention socially, and I get it. But I would love to see more organizations and charities focus on pregnant women and women specifically. And the reason is there are so many horror stories of how women and children are treated in community centers or houseless centers that also have males. And that's not to say all males are bad. I'm just saying there need to be safe spaces for vulnerable people like pregnant women and children to be together and receive resources and care in a space where they don't also have to protect themselves from the other people in the environment. So I love that they donated here, and they turned their donation into something that was actually usable. They donated diapers, a mountain of diapers. They made a sizable donation of diapers to the charity's second location, which will ensure more women are housed and supported. In a statement from the charity, they said, "We could not be more thankful to Archwell Foundation, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and Procter & Gamble and Pampers for the incredible donation through their Million Acts of Love campaign. Thank you for helping us ensure that our moms and babies have all they need in their homes." So Archwell partnered with Procter & Gamble earlier in 2021 in what the organization called a multi-year global partnership with the aim to work towards their shared goals of gender equality and vaccine equity. So lastly, I want to talk about 2021 again. Meghan and Harry provided relief and resources to the Genesis Women's Shelter and support in Dallas following devastating Winter Storm Uri. Now, this one was really close to my heart and my home. As everyone here knows, Dallas is my hometown. All of my family is in Dallas or Mount Pleasant. And Winter Storm Uri was a very scary time, especially having been in Florida at that time. I had no way to get to my mom, my dad, my grandparents, or my niece and nephew. And it was really scary. It was terrifying. So many of my family lost power, were stuck in their homes, snowed in, with very little resources and no power. I was so happy to hear that Meghan and Harry donated to the women's shelter in Dallas because it was very needed. A lot of times people, when they hear about these tragedies, they help those who have had massive loss, but they don't think about the people who are already in dire straits, and these incidences just make it worse. Even right now with like Hurricane Ian, there are so many people who are, and rightfully, donating to help people get back in their homes and help people with the cleanup. But there are so few people who focus on the homeless shelters that were affected by those hurricanes and have even less than they had before. In a statement from Jan Langbine, a CEO of Genesis, she said, "Today we were notified that through the actions of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex nonprofit Archwell Foundation, Prince Harry and Meghan will make a donation to help us get back on our feet. Not only will this gift provide for our critical needs, it shines an international spotlight on violence against women and children, letting survivors know that they are not alone." On the Genesis social media statement, they said, "Today the news of our damages reached Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Through their nonprofit, they are supporting us by replacing the roof of our transitional housing facility and helping us meet our immediate needs. Thank you, Archwell Foundation." Genesis Women's Shelter and Support opened its doors in 1985, and they serve the Dallas area, like I mentioned. And in addition to offering emergency shelter services and expert counseling, which, wow, first of all, at the counseling, the nonprofit also offers transitional housing and pro bono legal services. I thought that was amazing. Now that we've talked about Meghan and Harry's initiative to help more people who are houseless through all of their charity work with different organizations, I want to talk about a few organizations across the country that if you're interested in helping some of the ones that we've mentioned here today, or some that are local, I wanted to mention a few that are in major cities in the event that you wanted to know where to start. So I'm going to start with Dallas. We've already talked about the Genesis Women's Center in Dallas, but I want to talk about the Bridge Recovery Center. Now, this is an organization that I'm very, very proud of. They have made such a huge difference when it comes to helping the houseless in Dallas, Texas. So I'm going to read their mission statement. The Bridge is a homeless recovery center for individuals without a home in Dallas County. Our doors are open 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, and is the only shelter in Dallas providing day shelter services to all adults experiencing homelessness. The Bridge offers basic needs services, including hot showers, nutritious meals, and haircuts, as well as intensive services such as physical and mental health evaluations and care management services for almost 500 guests every day and night, shelter for 300 guests each night. Not only do they focus on helping the houseless, but they focus on recovery. With all of the resources, they help people to not only have shelter during their period of homelessness, but they help people find permanent housing. They help people become self-sufficient and financially free. And that is a huge help. It's one thing to give someone like fish for a day, but they're actually teaching people how to fish. And while they're teaching them how to fish, they're also making sure they're currently fed. I love this initiative. I love this organization. And I hope those of you who are in Dallas, who are in Texas and not, consider donating to the Bridge Homeless Recovery Center. Next up, I wanted to talk about a place in Miami, Florida. As you know, I am in Miami. I am from Texas, but I'm in Miami. And I wanted to talk about the Caring Place and read their mission statement. Helping men, women, and children with meals, safe shelter, life-changing residential programs, employment, and housing, resulting in transformed lives. Our passion is to follow the Lord Jesus Christ's Great Commission by serving others. Now, this is a Christian-based organization, and there are other organizations that are non-denominational, but I did want to point this one out because something that they mentioned in their mission statement is employment. Something that they mentioned in their mission statement is residential programs, meaning they can help you currently and then help you with the recovery process. And that is vital for people who are going through a period of houselessness. Next up, I want to talk about a place in New York. If you're looking to donate or volunteer, consider the Bowery Residents Committee, Inc. So BRC, as they go by, is in New York, and I'm going to read their mission statement. BRC offers a hand up instead of a hand out, building lasting relationships with each of our clients and offering them a comprehensive range of services through which they can achieve stability and independence in their lives. In the 50 years that BRC has provided housing and treatment services to homeless adults in New York City, we have demonstrated continuing expertise in developing and delivering services with efficiency and positive outcomes. So they have been around for 50 years. They obviously have the right stuff. And I love that they focus on transformational resources. Again, this is something that is going to be a theme throughout all of the ones that I mentioned, but it's important to know that you can help someone today and also help them to recover permanently, which is vital. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the Weingart Center in Los Angeles, California. The Weingart Center is a 501c3 nonprofit agency that provides homeless individuals with the basic tools necessary to stabilize their lives, secure income, and find permanent housing. Our mission is to empower and transform lives by delivering innovative solutions to break the cycle of homelessness. So I think that's a great way to wrap this up. They offer tools, basic tools necessary to stabilize. Sometimes when we are going through a tough time, we don't need someone to give us all the solutions. Sometimes we just need to sit still for a second, gather our thoughts, and pool our resources. For organizations that help people to stabilize, sometimes they help them to find out what they already have access to, some of the things that are already in their arsenal to help them out of the situation, but it also gives them a moment to breathe. Sometimes you don't need all your problems solved for you. Sometimes you just need a break. You need to not sleep in your car or sleep, somewhere unsafe. Sometimes you just need to stabilize, regroup, and restart. And I love that all of the organizations that I've talked about today, they really focus on stabilization and recovery resources in addition to immediate care. So that's all I've got for you today. I really appreciate you watching my video. If you have other charities or organizations that you volunteer at or donate to or would like to champion, please feel free to put them down in the comment section below. Just a reminder, this is not all of the charity work regarding the homeless that Meghan and Harry have committed to. I just wanted to point out a few because I feel like they were really unique or the organizations were really awesome, and I just wanted to continue to highlight that. Once again, I really appreciate all of my subscribers, all of the people who view this, and all of those who have become members. Once again, thank you so much to the Friend Circle and welcome Royal Court. I really appreciate everything you do. Next week, I will have my first members exclusive video debuting. It's a get ready with me, and we'll have some fun discussions while you watch me do my makeup. And I'm excited to show that. I never show the behind the scenes. Y'all have no idea what I look like as Mr. Potato Head. And so now you get to see the real me. So I hope you enjoy that and know my sacrifice because I appreciate you. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and become a member if you would like. I will see you next time. Bye.